Hi, welcome to the Market Alert for Monday, the 1st of June 2026. So equities edge higher into the weekend as US-Iran deal edges closer, although I haven't seen any more about this since Friday. And then we've got dollar dominance remains alive and well. Dollar dominance isn't fading. In fact, the events of late April 2026 just delivered the loudest counter signal in years. I noticed that it's sideways to higher throughout the whole of May, and the strongest buyer never stopped buying with regards to gold, which obviously is the opposite of the US dollar, which is why it's not making much headway at the moment. Gold, weak hands sold, strong hands bought. Yes, because we know ultimately that the dollar is set to fail. And economic news for today, we've got FOMC member Powell speaks, ISM manufacturing PMI and manufacturing prices. And then during the week, we've got this one, non-farm payrolls. That's the one the market will be waiting for, unless it's something of a geopolitical nature, of course, news-wise causing problems. But let's have a look at how the markets edged higher during Friday and kick off with the Dow. So in the Dow, we have the all-time high sitting there of 51,129. And guess what? We're just about to maybe take this out during today. So on Friday, the market moved higher. You can see that, and has continued to do so. Just needs to take out the high convincingly that we see from Friday to make that all-time high once more. There's no stopping these markets at the moment, despite the fact we've just come through the sell in May and go away situation. Let's have a look at the German DAX. And in the German DAX, we got close to the all-time high, and I'm sure that with the non-farm payrolls this week, we'll have another run at this level. Friday, you can see the market was an inside bar and sideways, and that you're seeing the market very, very quiet here, and also quiet overnight. So there's Friday for the German DAX, very, very choppy, but breaking out overnight. So expect more choppiness to continue in the German DAX. Let's have a look at the S&P. And in the S&P 500, all-time high being made overnight, 7605. And in the 30 minutes, you can see they're already through Friday's high, making a new all-time high overnight, despite the fact that it was fairly choppy on Friday, but enough to keep the market moving to the upside. In the FT 100, bit of a downtrend still going on here. It needs to break to the upside to get back to the all-time high. I'm sure it'll be dragged along at some point. And the 30-minute there stuck in a very quiet range. We had a move to the downside in the afternoon. That was about 5 p.m. for this bar here, and then the market just declined down. But overnight, it's a bit of a bounce there, but struggling with the 50 EMA for this market. Let's have a look at the NASDAQ, which too has also gone on to make a new all-time high. And the new all-time high comes overnight, and the electronic market. The markets never used to do this, but because they're so thinly traded, it's easy to keep moving the market in these sort of directions now. So there we go. You can see over just a bit of a pullback a couple of weeks ago, the market is now heading to, making daily all-time highs. And there's the all-time high overnight. This is Friday. You can see the market was a bit volatile in the cash market to begin with, but then established itself, held with all of the volume there, and then has broken out overnight to the upside. There must be some sort of a deal coming with Iran, I suspect. If not, it's just hearsay, which is enough to move prices. Let's have a look at the US dollar. And as we spoke of earlier, the market is sideways, still strong and holding, but it's still below the 100 level. Let's see if it can get back above this, and if it does, it's going to have an impact on the metals. And as we see in the Far East, we're still down at the $83 per ounce level. We've still got a premium of 801 in the Far East. Gold-silver ratio is stuck in a sideways range, which you can see is clearly defined there between 59 and 61. And the stress is virtually non-existent in the market at the moment as far as physical delivery is concerned. So let's have a look at the charts. And starting off with silver, stuck in a sideways range. We've come off the 200 MA, which is a positive, but we're not doing a lot. And this is going to be the same for months to come until they can move the market once more. There you can see just stuck in a range. There's your gold silver fixes at lunchtime. And then we've got a gap down in the Far East, of which we've started to move back to the upside. Gold, similar picture, stuck in a sideways range, needs to get back above the 200 MA. And then in the 30 minutes, you can see we had a bit of a run on Friday. And then the market's given back all of those gains that we saw that were made. All right, let's have a quick look at Friday's trades. So in the pre-market session there, let's just move across. The market was quite buoyant and then got stuck in a sideways range before trying to break out to the upside and then getting slammed back down to the close. So prices then remaining in a bit of a sideways move. I'm trying to hold at the 200 MA, which is the black moving average, and then coming off the DP, which you can see there, and then trying to get back above that 200 MA. So again, sell in May, go away. Market manages to break out after a potential losing trade there, and off we go. But nothing, no great shakes. And as you could see from the daily chart when we looked at it, prices were just sideways. Market down again, this time moving to the downside, allowing to pick up some profits from the loss, and then stuck in a range and working its way down past the DP. Again, you can see how it's tested there and also there with these spikes in the volume, and then prices going into a range. Dow opening, but before that you can see the 200 MA causing a problem, and then stuck in a range, and then another sell, which just a scalp. You see the volume there as well, accumulation of a volume, and also we've got that sort of stopping volume there, and then we move back to the upside, and you can see there to get a half decent move to the upside there on again prospects of a peace deal in the Middle East there, which still hasn't been announced. Let's have a look where we are overnight. And at the moment we can see that we are sideways, and just have a look, see where we are. We've got the high up here, got the low here, DP in the middle, but very, very quiet at the moment for this market. Again, as we're heading into obviously the summer now as well. So not a lot to report there at all. Market just stuck in a sideways range at the moment and above the 200 MA. So again, expect another choppy session at the open. Right, that's it for this one. Have a great day, and as ever, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.